Today we'll be featuring Scarlett, a 14-year-old quarter-horse mare available for adoption from Gentle Spirit Horses Rescue in Scotland, South Dakota. We're starting off from just catching. This is one of Scarlett's few problem areas. She can be a little difficult to catch. Once caught, she's a good girl. So here we're just showing that I did have to walk with her a little bit and give her a little bit of encouragement before moving to put the halter on. You'll note it's taken me a bit to get the halter on, but that is not an indication of Scarlett. That is my own fault, as I realized I did not have the halter ready to go. She does stand very patiently as I fumble around with it, and when I am ready, she drops her head nicely and puts the halter on. And as we finish putting the halter on, she's now ready to lead around the pen quite a bit. She is a good girl for leading. She follows nicely, maintains her distance, and stops when you stop. While Scarlett is known to have been mostly a broodmare, it does appear at some point in her life she had some decent handling, as her confidence is fine. I never feel worried about her being spooked or running me over or anyway. We're doing a quick just showing that she does accept grooming on both sides. Blind horses, Prince and Maggie, kind of wanted to get on the action, and you'll see I have to redirect them shortly, but that's just kind of the fun. Just a note, I was alone on the farm this day, so I've sped this up. I also only asked her for her front feet when I get to that point. That is not a reflection on Scarlett. She has been good for the farrier. She does give all four of her feet kindly. Just being alone on the farm and nobody expected to be at the farm for several hours, I chose not to pick her back feet at this point. You'll also notice I'm taking it a little extra going around her hind. I wouldn't normally have to do that, but just better safe than sorry. There, I verbally asked her to move over, as we do not like them to crowd against the fence. We prefer that they stay perpendicular to the fence when we are grooming them, and she had swung away. Scarlett is pretty decent on the lunge line. We are really pretty good at walk and trot, and have started learning canter. She could use some work on that. She can still have moments where she requires you to stay with her, but for the most part she's pretty willing when it comes to walk, trot, and reverse. Still learning all the verbal cues, but confident enough on the lunge line that we are moving into saddle training with her, and she is ready to learn to ride. You'll note she has a nice smooth trot. I suspect as she continues to be trained that she will just smooth out even more as she learns to use her body correctly. Here I show her accepting her saddle pad from both sides and also her saddle. Again, because I was alone on the farm and expected to be there for many hours, I did choose not to girth up the saddle. I just show that she does accept it and that she will walk with it. Here we're going to switch sides and show that she will accept it from both sides. I do not believe I had done this before, so I am a little more cautious, but she accepted it like a pro. That was my indication. This is the first time I've probably presented the saddle pad from this side. Not a huge reaction, and she does accept me putting it on her back pretty quickly. I chose to wait for her to relax before trying. And apparently I cut out the part of her putting the saddle on, but as you can see, she did accept it. I think the video was getting long and I chose at this point to move ahead. So she did accept the saddle. As I mentioned earlier, I was alone on the farm and did not choose to girth her up. I knew this was as far as I was going to go with her today, and I was happy with her accepting and being led with the saddle on her back. And so that wraps up. Scarlett's a very kind and beautiful girl. She's one of my favorites by far. Here you can see that she is just a nicely put together quarter horse mare that cares for young horses very much. She's good in the herd. She's very middle of the pack. She's not a dominant mare, and she's super friendly, and she would very much like some training and a home. So thanks for watching, and check out our site if you're interested in adopting Scarlett.